This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
And we start off with a big show. It's at the Omni, May 1st, 1987. Third from the top, it's Arn and Tully taking on Ole Anderson and Tim Horner. And man, at this point, you guys are probably starting to get in your rhythm with you versus Ole. Did you prefer Ole as an opponent or a tag team partner?
Partner, for sure. It was a good, that was a good blend with him and Tim. Ole was an ass kicker. Tim was a technician, but a young guy, in the business. So it was Tully and I had a little bit of experience at least in the fans' eyes as a team, not necessarily in the business itself, but because Tim broke in before I did, but I think, had a little more experience as partners.
The very next day, you guys had a WTBS taping, of course, May 2nd. That's a matinee show. Later that night, you would find yourself in Chattanooga, Tennessee, but another matinee show on May 3rd. This time, you're in Charleston, West Virginia. 2,200 fans. On top, we've got Ric Flair and Jimmy Garvin in the main event, believe it or not. Of course, Lex Luger is going to be interfering on behalf of Ric Flair. So Lex Luger flirting with the main events already, just a few months into his run here. But in the middle of the card, it's Ole and Arn. And Ole's going to get a win by disqualification. Of course, you damn dirty horsemen, you're a bunch of cheaters. What was it like working with Ole in a singles match versus a tag match? I mean, it feels like in a singles match, buddy, he's just going to beat your ass the entire time, is he not?
Pretty much. It was competitive. It was short, intense, a little more competitive than most people would think. Ole was what he was. He was a steamroller.
Yeah, I can't imagine some of these babyface promos he's cutting. I mean, they feel real because they're coming through as real. And then, of course, he's got to make it look real at the show. Was Ole known as being, I don't know, a little stiff, a little snug?
Yeah, it was pretty close to being real.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get. I mean, he wasn't that good that he could make it look that good and it'd be painless. But the thing about it is, Conrad, in those days, it was a different thought process. Got a lot of guys that took pride in being ass kickers. They weren't necessarily artistes. Every single night they went through the curtain, it was real to them. And until they got back through the curtain, it was real. And guys would, it was okay to whack a guy. As long as you didn't knock a guy's teeth out or kick a guy directly in the gonads, that was just part of it.
So let's also mention that this is very much the era of quote unquote kayfabe. This is a different era. You're not having good guys and bad guys riding together and all that jazz. Did your travel change when you were on opposite ends with Ole, or were y'all never really traveling together to begin with?
No, we never traveled together. He had his own deal, and Ole was on a smaller schedule than we were. When you were there every day, you would set up rides and stuff for guys, in advance. And Ole was part-time at this time. He wasn't going every day, so he would just do his own thing, I would imagine.
I want to ask about the next day because we find ourselves in Greenville, South Carolina. It's May 4th. You're going to be in a tag match, you and Tully, once again against Ole and Tim Horner. We've talked a little bit in recent weeks about what an underrated performer Tim Horner is. Let's talk about the next day, May 9th. We're back doing a TV taping, WTBS Studios. It's a 6-man, Tully, Arn, yourself, and Lex, of course, taking on Rocky King, Howell Moore, and Larry Stevens. Howell Moore, not a name I could have picked out of a lineup. Any good Howell Moore stories you can share with us?
Now, I don't know who Howell Moore is. Why do you do this? No disrespect to the human being. That's just one that I don't remember.
No, but I know you'll remember on May 11th, we're back in Greenville, South Carolina. You're working second from the top. You're teaming with the world champ Ric Flair to take on Ole and Tim Horner. How was Ole and Arn or Ole and Rick in a match together? There's been lots of rumor and innuendo that for whatever reason, Ole didn't really think a lot of Rick. Did that become a pissing contest at any point during a match, or were they all business?
No, they're too big, too professional for that. I'm sure they slugged it out pretty good, but nothing out of line. That's not the place to take out your personal grievances in the ring. As crazy as that may sound, where else would you do it? But you don't take a liberty or do anything over the top with somebody because you don't like them. If you're in this business and you're competing against another guy, it doesn't matter if you like him or not. You're at work and you're on the clock, and you try to give the fans what they paid for, and that's all you do.
Well, you gave them their money's worth in Columbia on May 12th. You're going to beat up Jeff Sampson here, and then after the bout, Bob Caudle's going to do a ringside interview with you here, and I think we got a clip of that we'll play in a moment. But that was recorded on the 12th, that aired on the 16th. That same show, you do a TV taping, also not just for Pro, but for Worldwide. And there we would see you team up with Tully and Lex to take on Todd Champion, Tommy Angel, and David Isley.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.